Bracketology presented by Dave Campbell's Texas Football, breaking down the 2022 Texas High School Football Playoff brackets. I'm Greg Tepper, that's Ishmael Johnson, and this little beauty is 3A Division I. And if you are into style clashes, if you are into going into each week and needing to decipher a different kind of offense, this is the bracket for you, because it does feel like you've got contenders everywhere and they all do it in different ways, and that's going to make this really fun.
It also feels like a year where we're going to see kind of the page turn a little bit on what we've been used to, right? Brock's been a little bit up and down this year. Pottsboro, of course, played for a state title. Jim Nett, of course, is a former state champion. But I'm not sure if they're the favorites coming out of those regions this year, right? Could we see a West come out of there? Could we see different names, different teams kind of make their way? 3A seemingly turns the page every other year or so, where you see, oh, this team, that team, Hallettsville a couple years ago. I feel like we're in that kind of mold this year. Let's go to Region 1.
We'll start here, and this is where Brock lives. Brock was the preseason #1 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and then they started 0-4. And everyone's just like, wait a second.
What's happening?
What's going on here? Now, the 4 losses were all to teams that were either bigger than them or they were to Gunner.
Sure.
So, like kind of grain of salt, and they were all very competitive. So, a lot of this depends on what you think of Brock. Once they play teams in their weight class, they've been pretty much unstoppable. With that said, I will say that this is the dirty side of the region, and right here, you want to talk about this. Bushland, Jim Ned in an area round matchup, and the winner gets Brock. That is heady stuff there.
I was about to say, Brock, we kind of thought would turn it on once they got to district. They looked fine. I don't think they were as dominant as maybe we thought they'd be, and so there's still some concern there. I still probably would have them as the favorite coming out of the region just based off pedigree. I think that they're going to be a team that just puts it together and they're going to be fine. But there have been some questions more this season, even outside of that 0-4 start.
Up here at the top, Whitesboro's a team really to keep an eye on, the runner-up, and arguably there's a controversial call in that Brock and Whitesboro game. Arguably they should have beaten them. Shallow Water has really gotten hot late. They're a team that's playing their best football. I like this Breckenridge team a lot as well. So Region 1, again, kind of a litmus test on Brock, and they're going to get tested early, especially. I think that Brownfield team's dangerous too. Let's go to Region 2. Region 2 is loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, it is absolutely crazy, and you can see it in first-round matchups. Pottsboro and Gladewater, right? Jefferson and Mineola, the Dawson-Pendergrass experience is coming, right? Grandview and Fairfield are 2 teams with state championship pedigree. I like this West team. Tatum and Mount Vernon is fantastic stuff too. And then there's down here with Malakoff, which is a team that I know a lot of the Dave Campbell's Texas football crew is pretty high on.
Yeah. Is this the year that Malakoff, if they do face Grandview, right? Is this the year, right? Is this the year they finally get one over on the Zebras? Also, potentially, they don't even get Grandview, right? Because you mentioned Mineola. I like the Mineola team a lot. They potentially, another team I've mentioned before, teams that have the best player or the best 2 players potentially on the field any given night. That could be Mineola. I saw them against West Rusk. West Rusk beat them pretty bad, but I think that was a good defensive performance by them. Mineola has the guy you mentioned with Dawson Pendergrass. I like Malakoff coming out of this region because I don't know if this year's Grandview team is the team that makes it to this regional final.
District 5, Pottsboro and Winsboro have an opportunity to make some noise as well as Mount Vernon. I mean, remember, they got Mackenzie McGill, so if you're looking for an individual best playmaker, but that's a tough first-round matchup with Tatum. All told, this is just...
That's fun.
This is a lot of fun. Region 2 is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Let's go to Region 3. Over there in Region 3, again, you have all eyes on 11 versus 12, okay? 11 versus 12 has 4 certified bangers, including, in my opinion, the game of the week in bi-district round, Columbus and Lorena. That is the defending 3A Division I state champions taking on a state-ranked, I want to say top 5 Columbus team. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. Plus, Cameron Yoyokum, Franklin Hallettsville. You've got 2 defending state champs, remember, in the same region. And then down here, Hitchcock and Little River Academy. Those are District 11 and District 12 are, in my opinion, the 2 best teams or 2 best districts in this region.
Yes.
And it wouldn't be a surprise to see either one of them sweep the other.
So, me and Ashley Pickle have been high on Hitchcock ever since 7-on-7. I have them coming out of this region. It might be, it's definitely a sleeper pick because of their skill position players. The places where they could potentially get got is in the trenches, right? That's obviously something you don't see at 7-on-7, right? That's kind of the beauty / the negative of 7-on-7. So they could run into a Little River Academy and bi-district, be overmatched, and just not be able to use those weapons on the outside. But I just love what they've done this year. I was putting together the basketball magazine, and there should be a really good team in basketball as well. But the coach was like, I don't know, I'm not going to get these guys till January because they're all playing football. So I really do think they're going to make a pretty interesting run because they have just athletes all over the place with that team.
Franklin's the team I really like, defending state champs, undefeated #1 team in the state. I like the #1 team in the state. What I love about them is the fact that you have to defend them for 48 minutes because if you give them a crease, they're gone. Bryson Washington, Jaden Jackson. Columbus Lorraine is a banger. Cameron Yo is very dangerous. They can score with anybody, but the defense is going to be the question. If you're looking for a team out of District 9 or District 10, I would look at the district champions. Orangefield, I think, is dangerous. Their offense has been humming, and Diboll, a team there. The Lumberjacks, keep an eye on them. Over down to the Region 4. Region 4 is, I think, all about Edna. Let's talk a lot about Edna, nothing but Edna. I'm kidding. We have to talk about a couple of different teams, specifically the district champs of District 13 and District 15. Edna is for real. I think they're very dangerous, and their defense is going to give them an opportunity. But the Lano Yellow Jackets have an opportunity to make a very deep run. Our producer needs to be quiet on the set.
Yeah, no, I saw Lano earlier this year against Coleman, and they pretty much shut down Coleman. Defensively, they shut down Coleman, and they won in a way that I wasn't familiar. That wasn't the way they had been winning. They were a running team. They got really the outside receivers going when I saw them against Coleman, and I came back really impressed with that. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh, they've been winning running the ball. And I saw the other side. I saw a plan B attack from them. So that's kind of where I'm fascinated to see, which I think they can get it done both ways. Defensively, there were a little bit of cracks. But again, they shut down Coleman, so they kind of answered that on their own. That's where, if I have a little bit of a concern right now, it's maybe defensively at times they can get got. But I think in the trenches, they're fine. I think on the outside, they're fine. They can obviously run the ball. They're probably the most well-balanced team in this region. This
is another region where there's two districts that are dominant, in my opinion, 13 and 15, but they do not match up with each other in by district, so that means we'll get some fantastic area round matchups, potentially like an Edna and a Universal City Randolph, right? Something like that. Blanco's a team to keep an eye on as well. Jourdanton's the sleeper here. Jourdanton is a team out of District 14 that I think is very dangerous. Their offense has been rolling. So when you take a look at 3A Division 1, again, all eyes are going to be here, right? All eyes are going to be here, maybe even over here with the kind of the Brock Bushland, Jim Ned kind of triumvirate there. I also think that and then you've got kind of 4 districts to watch here. District 11, District 12, District 13, and District 15 here on this side of the bracket.
I feel like, yeah, those are the districts where the state participant's going to come out of on those and that side of the bracket. Man, region, like I said, I have Malakoff, right? But as we've seen, if they get Grandview just has their number, it seems like. I don't think they will, because I think this half of the district, or half of the region, I should say, is very tough. And is this just a year where we're confused about who's coming out, and then it's just Brock in the end?
That's right. It's Denver City. That's right. All right. And that's going to take us to AT&T Stadium 6 weeks from today, where we will crown some state champions, and we will have you covered every step of the way at TexasFootball.com.